Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of Talk of the Rift. This is a podcast all things about League of Legends, from current state of the meta, upcoming changes, and professional play. I am your host, Logan, and joining me today is Eli.
Hello.
And Koobs.
What's good?
At the end of the show, we do a live Q&A, so if you want to submit your questions, you can tweet them to us at Talk of the Rift, post them in Twitch chat, or even send us an audio message on our Anchor page, anchor.fm/talkoftherift, and we will play it live on the show. If you're listening to us on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe, and if you're on Twitch, give us a follow so you can stay updated when we do our live shows. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing really good. I'm excited. First week LCS.
Yeah, it's a good time of year. Ready to get hyped up.
We've got a pretty big...
And have a Bud Light also.
We have a pretty big grab bag episode today. We got a lot of random little things to talk about as we get ready for our first week of LCS. So this will be a very pro play focused show today. And it might go a bit over an hour, but we're ready for the long haul. First up on our list of things to talk about today, speaking of Bud Light, was Bud Light sponsorship. The LCS finally, after years of not allowing alcohol being sold at the LCS arena, they have an alcohol sponsor.
Should have had a Homer Simpson, beer bit right here. Just a soundbite.
The Duff beer.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Oh, yeah.
With the Bud Light sponsorship comes, let's see, I got it up here in front of me, mobile bars and beer gardens at the LCS. They will be doing a Hawaii LCS themed viewing parties. The Ace moment on LCS broadcasts, and supplying all post shows after Monday Night League, which will be streamed across the LCS and Bud Light's Twitch channel. So they'll have a Bud Light sponsored post game show, which I'm super happy about because I didn't really like the previous, was it 2 Splits post game show?
Does the sponsorship really change much from that?
I think so, like possibly. Because of Bud Light is because Bud Light is collaborating on a bespoke after-hours post show, name forthcoming, airing exclusively on Bud Light's Twitch channel, complete with all your favorite LCS talent, special guests, and Easter eggs throughout the season. I would say it's probably because before it was like the freaking Kobe or freaking Azale show, when they would do Scion Speedway and they would interview like 2 players and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Where this kind of seems like Bud Light was like, we're gonna sponsor you, but we're gonna do like a post game show that we want to do, not like we're gonna just do your show, kind of a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think that's super exciting.
Yeah, I think that's really good. One of the interesting things about the fact that there's an alcohol sponsor is that means that the average age of the LCS fan, the requirement is that the 71.6% of the audience needs to be 21 years or older, according to the FTC, which I think is the...
Look, Dad, we made it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what FTC stands for, but they regulate all of that. So, if you're like 24, 25, you're the exact market audience that's going to pick up on this.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, and it's just another big company, joining the ranks and, kind of validating the scene even more as a legitimate, entertainment option.
I guess I'm trying to think of the other things that go with this.
That's kind of it, right?
Beer at the LCS and viewing parties. Parties, hopefully it'd be nice that they do.
A better pro view.
Well, that'd be freaking nice.
Well, they haven't announced ProView
Yeah,
this year yet, have
yeah. By the way, they haven't even really announced ProView yet, so I'm curious.
There's just one easy switch. I don't get how they haven't figured it out.
What's that?
Right? They just adding the commentators to whatever stream you're watching.
Yeah, adding commentators is a pretty big deal in my opinion.
Otherwise, you're just listening to this game sound, right?
Commentator, yeah, and listening to just the game sound was pretty terrible. Commentators and tiny windows. I just, like, if I wanted to go watch, like, down, like, in my living room, and I want to watch, like, the 80 carry stream, and then I had to watch the live stream, too, because commentators, you have these 2 tiny windows, and it can't fill, like, the whole screen, and then it's just, like, I can't see it. Like, I don't know, it's super annoying. I think there's a lot of things that they'd have. I mean, there's a simple fix with having commentary on all of them, but I think there's a couple of the kinks that they really do need to figure out with it. But
What's kind of interesting with the way that you guys are suggesting to fix this is for the College Football National Championship, ESPN had a separate broadcast that had on the field perspective with another set of commentators. And it was a little rough around the edges, but I thought it was a really cool and kind of unique way to view the game. So I think that's already establishing that something like that can work if you do it right. And you could definitely see the merits of it in that broadcast. So I'm hoping that Riot picks up on some of the notes that ESPN maybe laid out for people.
And they've done like something like that in the past where they grab like 2 pro players that aren't like playing right, and then they says like a whole separate stream of just watching the premier matchup, right?
Yeah, I wish they would go back to that. People like that. So LCS Lounge, I think, is what it was called.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Like they had one where
it works, and it would get like a lot of views, at least on Twitch. Like it'd always be near the top.
They had one where like Freak and Sneaky and Meteos, and they like gave Sneaky and Meteos Chipotle burritos, and they just ate Chipotle and talked about the game, and like it's just super. I don't know, it's just like super chill. Like yeah, you can't do that for like every game, but like the one in a blue moon's like why not? You know, like why can't you just have that stuff?
But yeah, I'm with you, Eli. That should just be a thing, honestly, if they want to keep doing that. Just
have Rick Fox come in and commentate a game. Like that's their second stream. Captain Flowers and Azale do bronze stream or something like that.
Yeah, it's perfect.
God, that would be amazing.
The map's already there. Hey, just gotta follow it.
Next up on our list of things to talk about, our podcast will be doing a fantasy LCS for the split. As long as Coobs gets accepted into it, that'd be sweet. But we'll get there.
E1 Esports, I think their name is.
Fantasy Esports 1.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Come on.
We know you're listening, CEO of Esports 1. Let him in.
We know. Pull the strings.
But anyway, so what we're doing is the Esports 1 Fantasy is doing a league this year because Riot dropped the ball again. And they have, each player has a salary, and you're given a $1.5 million salary cap. Basically, you just pick your players based on your salary, and whoever performs the best wins that week.
Yep.
So
it's like DraftKings.
Yep, like DraftKings.
Listening's familiar with that.
For Eli, what did you get for picks? Did you switch them to your
whole
NA?
list?
Yeah, just do your top to bottom.
Okay. So a little bit of the mindset going in here. I wanted to grab value players, pretty good players that I'm going to get at a good price that have decent matchups. We're value picking the whole way down. If a player is valued at under $200,000, didn't even consider them. If they're valued at $300,000 or over, didn't consider them. We're value picking in the middle here. So I've got Ruin in the top lane. CLG's got a couple of nice matchups this week, actually. They've got Dignitas and FlyQuest. I think they're going to sweep up both of those games. I don't think it's going to be that close. I got Wiggly in the jungle, which is also CLG. Crown at mid lane. Maybe you're seeing a theme here. Stixay and Smoothie, and I picked CLG for my team. I'm just going to run down the whole list. I honestly think they're just going to win both of their games. I don't think it's going to be close. And the Esports 1, you can pick an MVP or a team captain, I'm sorry. You get a little crown next to their head. And if you pick the champions that they play in their 2 games, then that player gets 50% of their total added on to their total. So if he got 20%, they got 20 points, and you picked both their champions, they'd be worth 30 points.
I like that.
On Esports 1, you put a crown next to him, and I thought it was really appropriate to put a crown on crown. I think he's going to play Syndra and Ryze.
Okay. Right. So for me, I did kind of the same logic, but with one caveat. I picked one $300,000 player and one $100,000, but the $100,000 is my team. So what I stuck with was I got Someday in the top lane, 100 Thieves. Svenskeren in the jungle, he's my $300,000 player. Bjergsen in the mid lane, Stix 80 carry with Vulcan support. My Someday reasoning is that he's going up against Kumo on Evil Geniuses, so I think he's going to smash him. And he's also going up against... I don't remember who the second one was off the top of my head.
Golden Guardians.
Golden Guardians, and they're terrible. So he's going to smash Hanser. I'm not worried about that at all.
Hanser is less than $200,000 on the salary. He's actually the second lowest rated top laner on the list. Interesting that you singled out Kumo. Kumo's worth $330,000.
Right. So here's my thing: is that like, first off, I think their salary system's like really skewed, like really skewed. But I think it's probably going to change as like per week. So like, let's say if like Blabber, for instance, is worth 10,000 more than Svenskeren. Like obviously Blabber's not a better jungler than Svenskeren is, but if like Blabber shits the bed and Svenskeren does great, I imagine Svenskeren will be closer to 400,000 and Blabber will drop down to a 200,000 value. Like I'm sure it fluctuates because otherwise you're gonna have, you know, some terrible player like if Golden Glue pops off, he's gonna be worth 180 the whole year. Like no way, like that's not a thing.
Well, and then it's going to be the most skewed week one because who
Right.
knows how these guys are going to play with each other.
Exactly.
But-
So hopefully it
that's
kind of
fine.
balances out after 2 weeks or so. But
Yeah. I basically decided that this website is really undervaluing CLG, particularly with their matchups. And you heard me laugh earlier before we started the podcast. I laughed because I ended up with Ruin, Wiggly, Stixay, and Smoothie. And I had Jizuke in the mid lane, and I had Cloud9. So I just swapped the two out to make it a full send on the counter logic. But I laughed because I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. I like that. And then I looked at where everything was allocated, and I was pretty much all in on counter logic, so I just decided not to hedge my bets.
yeah. At one point I had a whole 100 Thieves roster almost, and I was like, wait, if I just like drop this guy and this guy, I get Bjergsen and this guy, which was ended up being like Stixay, and I was like, I like this better. We're good. But like I took Svenskeren because he's going against 100 Thieves. But it wasn't the 100 Thieves one. His second one is he's going against. I think he's gonna get a shit ton of points against Dig. That's what it was. Against Grig. He's gonna crap on Grig. And he's gonna crap on their bot lane, I think, and that's gonna be pretty easy for him. Bjergsen. I think Liquid's gonna go 2 the first week, so I was okay with playing Bjergsen. Because I think him and Dardox like mid jungle matchup will be better than Paul Belter and Jensen. So I think that gives Bjergsen the freedom to run around. And then Stixay, because every reason you said for all of your players.
Yes.
That was just kind of like my best valued AD carry I could get for the most part, I would say. And then
Right.
Vulcan, because I don't think Paul Belter is going to be... I think Sven is one of the most passive laners, like one of the safest laners.
Just crown Sven and have him then just do Ezreal. He's going to pick it every time.
Right, exactly. so Vulcan probably isn't going to die. And he's probably going to get a lot of assists like as the game progresses. Obviously, we're going to get into this when we talk more about their matchup later in the podcast. But so I think Vulcan's going to be a pretty safe support pick, and he's not very expensive to pick. And then Dignitas is my team because they were the cheapest team that I could buy because I spent all my money on the players.
Yeah.
So, and then
Well,
my captain is Vulcan, and I picked Thresh Nautilus. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's interesting. You and I had completely different mindsets on the teams because you went with like the cheapest team you could get basically, and I went with it's actually my team is $320,000, which I think is interesting because all of the players are really value picks, but CLG as a team is worth a lot.
Well, and the thing about the team is like the team is like based on how, like if you win, how fast you win, like how many objectives you take, stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, if anybody's gonna be like late game, get all the objectives, it's probably a Froggen team, I guess. So like, why not?
An objective taking Dignitas team, that's when they lose.
Exactly. It's a gamble. I didn't say it was a smart idea. I just said it was an idea.
Also, I don't know. Did we make it clear that for us we're only picking NA players and teams, but on Esports One you can actually do like it's set up for you to do NA and EU, so you can do LEC stuff as well.
We're going to be a dominantly NA podcast. I mean, we're going to talk a lot about the NA pro scene. We'll obviously dip our toes into some other regions when the news like bars us to do so. But for now, it's just NA purely. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to like pick EU players and talk about them, where we'd rather just stay on the conversation of NA. So we're just going to pick NA players for now. We obviously in the leaderboard against everybody else, we're probably not going to do very well then because, you know, people will be picking perks, caps, all that stuff, and probably be getting more points than us. But we'll know amongst ourselves how our points stack up with each other. So it'll still be good.
When I was looking at the EU players, because I made my picks, and then you were like, we're doing only NA. And I was like, oh, I got to drop my rogue players. Perks, caps, pretty much all of G2. I mean, they won. They dominated, but they're really expensive. So you can't.
They're all 400,000 except for Mickey X.
Yeah, so you pretty much are like, I'm gonna take one G2 player and be poor for the rest of the way.
Yeah. But like I said, I give it a week, it'll round out. Like if Bjergsen has a great season, like you're probably never going to get him at 270 grand again. He's going to probably go up pretty high. So
Right.
Can I give you guys my picks?
Sure.
Did you get in? Do you have your
No,
money
no,
values?
but
or
I
you
but I
just-
know but I know what I know I'm gonna make how I'm gonna make this work.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
So
tell you your salaries. Go ahead.
I'm gonna do Broken Blade in the top lane,
Oh God.
Dardoch in the jungle,
Is he picking all TSM?
Bjergsen in the mid, and Kobe and Biofrost in the bot lane, baby. TSM all the way, bringing me the 1.5 million or whatever that prize is.
I'm sure that's worth much more than 1.5, but because you also gotta
It
pick
is
a team.
not.
It
It is worth 1.3 million. Actually, he can do it.
Let's go.
So he's
Oh
got
wait,
200,000
he needs
for
a
a
team.
team?
Hold up, he needs a team. I'm sorry, I didn't calculate how much TSM is worth.
Oh yeah, TSM.
Give me a
sure.
second here.
What if I just do the curveball? Yeah, let's go the Gold Guardians.
They're worth-
TSM's only worth 240K. He's pretty close.
That's 1.5 million and 50,000. So you
have
cannot
to drop
do it.
50K.
You gotta lose somebody.
And then I'm gonna have Crown Bjergsen, and he's gonna play Zillion for some godforsaken reason.
There you
Okay.
go.
And it's just how
That
it is.
that
It's
sounds
how
like a
it's
big
it's
thing
how
to
they
do.
it's how they break my heart. Picking Zillion mid. I hate it every time they do it.
See, I used to, like, there's a time when Jensen was on Cloud 9, rip, and every time he'd pick Zillion, like, I knew they would win, but it would just always make me sad. It'd be like, well, this is the game I'm watching now. Feels
Yeah,
bad.
I always felt like we were gonna lose whenever we picked Zillion.
You know what?
But you
I
guys
just
would also do like
realized?
the Zillion kindred. But anyways, yeah. Tell me what you realize.
The Blabber Life.
Counter Logic Gaming is worth 320,000. The only other there's one other team that's tied with them at 320,000. That's G2, and Fnatic is worth 340,000. Those are the top.
I
three.
think it's
Fnatic
also
play for
based
50
on
minutes?
matchup. I think it's because
It's gotta
CLG
be, yeah.
CLG faces Dig and Fly, which is like the match difficulty says Dig is like the 16th worst team and Fly is the 13th, I guess. It must be like their stats guy saying that.
Well, if you look at the team column, it actually gives you what they're predicting the win percentage is.
If you look at what? Oh, win percentage. Okay, yeah. Oh, I didn't
So,
see that. So yeah, okay.
G2 has 83% win chance, and they've got better matchups than Fnatic, but Fnatic is more money.
Huh.
And I guess that's weighing the points per game the most. I guess. That's weird.
That is weird. Looking at, sorry, now I noticed like the average game time column, and I was like, what is the average game time? God, TSM, you suck.
Oh, that's why G2 wins games in 25 minutes. Everyone else goes 30.
Oh. Jesus. Literally, everyone else is 30 plus except for G2 at 26.57. God, they were
That's
good.
incredible.
All right.
Wow.
But we'll have way more to talk about that as the next week goes, so we can actually talk about what we picked and how we did and stuff.
And
The
maybe
next
quiz
thing
about
that
it.
we are doing with the podcast as we go along is a pick'em. We're going to do weekly pick'ems for the NALCS, and we're going to keep track of our pick percentages so we know who's the best at it. Because spoilers, it's going to be Eli.
What? Why you pick? I don't think it's me. I don't think I'm
thought
gonna be the best at this.
It's sure as hell not going to be me.
Well, congratulations, Coobs. You've already won the split. so-
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
Oh, Coobs, you forgot to fill out your last slot. Let me fill that one in for you.
Whoever.
It's TSM versus Team Liquid. I just put TSM down for you.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer.
That was the one. I was told I couldn't use an asterisk or a contingency because I was gonna pick Liquid if Broxit plays, but I don't think he's gonna play anyway.
So there's 10 games that is it 10? Yeah, 10 games are played every week. So we're not going to run through all 10 games because no one's going to remember all 10 that we say anyway. But basically, just wanted to make it aware for everyone that we're doing it, and we'll talk about our pick'ems as we talk more about like the rest of our podcast where we discuss matchups and stuff like that. We'll then say what our pick'em was for that matchup and whatnot. So yeah,
We could probably post our pick'ems each week on Twitter.
could do that. We will figure out a way to do that, and we will do it. I wonder if we should be able to do that. Actually, that should be super easy.
Yep.
For us to do.
So follow us on Twitter.
At Talk of the Rift
There you go.
for your
Pretty
full
easy.
pick'em experience. Power rankings. We're gonna go. I was gonna go through them really quick because I had an update on mine actually, for my pick'ems for the end of the year results or the end of the split results. Who's gonna win the spring split, regular season, first place, stuff like that. Mine is gonna be Team Liquid, Cloud9, TSM, which is what I had before. And then I'm gonna go CLG fourth. I think I had that before. And then this is where I switch it up. I'm gonna go 100 Thieves, Dignitas, Evil Geniuses. I have lost faith in Evil Geniuses the more I think about it. They've just gone to the back of my mind, I think, and I don't know. I don't see a world where I don't think their system works.
What system are you talking about?
I think their bot lane. We'll get into this. We're going to talk
Okay.
about EG versus 100 Thieves later.
Oh, sure.
So I'll go more in depth then. But I think their bot lane is not going to work.
Okay.
And I think even myself, because Kumo was a top laner for C9, I think I have like goggles on and like, oh yeah, he was really good. Which, I mean, he was pretty good. But I think he's a little overrated. Like the more I think about it, and the more I've like been apart from him on my team. And I just think that I think he's the worst top laner like in the league. Which, like, I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of good top laners in our league, but like if he just gets stomped, like top lane's like pretty irrelevant, but like if he's just getting stomped and their bot lane's getting stomped, like there's not much they can do. Also, Jizuke last summer in Europe was really bad. Like he used to be really good, but like he had a bad split. And if he has another bad split, like I just listed 4 players that are going to play bad, so the MVP Sven Skaren's going to try to like put the kids on his back, which like I guess he could do, but he could also just become a window licker again, and God knows what's going to happen with that.
Interesting.
My man.
Window licker's a little aggressive, but that was a. See, I go the other way. I think Evil Genius is gonna do. I had him at third. I'm gonna keep him at third. I'm not gonna move my picks at all. But, well, I can't remember if I had him at. Because I don't know when Liquid was gonna get Broxa. If they get Broxa in a reasonable amount of time, it was Liquid, Cloud9, Evil Genius, CLG, TSM. I'm not gonna change that. Because I think Evil Geniuses change their logo, so people start laughing at it. By the time they're done laughing, they realize they just lost the game. Evil Genius is going to win a lot of games doing that. Right? You're going to halfway through the split, people realize, oh, this is actually a good team.
It's possible.
You going to keep everything the same from yours? This is your last chance to get your preseason picks in, Coops.
Oh no, I'm set with mine. Let's see, where's Logan? Where do you even have Evil Genius? Where's EG at? We have him down there.
He's got him
7.
down
I don't even have him as a playoff team.
Yeah, Evil Geniuses. I'm a little more optimistic they'll do okay. But I do think that they could swing one way or the other pretty hard. I actually think Golden Guardians is gonna do better than people think, but not enough to break into the top half at all.
Are you basing that off of what they posted on Twitter the other day?
Oh, I didn't even see it. Share this with me.
Let me see if I can find it. It was like Golden Glue. Oh, they did their whole roster just like dressed really well, all put together.
Mm-hmm.
And God, they're all wearing turtlenecks and like sport jackets, and they got chains. It is weird, man.
All right, straight to the top. Never mind. Golden Guardians going number 1.
Yeah, that was a lot of people's reactions.
Look too clean. But yeah, I don't. FlyQuest. I put him kind of lower. I think. I don't know. I just don't trust Wild Turtle. I mean, if he has one good split, the next split's not going to be good.
That's like me with
on him.
It's like me with Power of Evil. I just like
Yeah.
He's just not good anymore. Like it's wasted
We'll see.
space.
He's not on Unicorns of Love anymore. How could he be? He's never gonna get that back.
Yeah.
As long as Oriana's in a power pick, I think he
That's true.
kind of whatever.
That's true.
I'm gonna leave it as is.
For the total score, for all 3 of us together, it's Team Liquid, Cloud9, TSM, CLG, Evil Geniuses, 100 Thieves, Dignitas, FlyQuest, Immortals, Golden Guardians. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 100 Thieves would be the last playoff team, is what we're all thinking, with Dignitas just falling short of it.
That's interesting because you're the only person that put 100 Thieves in the playoffs, but collectively as a group, we agree 100 Thieves is going to be in the playoffs.
Well, I have them so high up.
I know.
I don't trust Afro.
It's
on Dignitas, yeah.
Oh, he's on Dignitas.
He's on Dignitas. 100 Thieves has Stunt now.
Who is that? That's right. Oh, that's right. They have Meteos, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I put them that low. There we go. Let me switch this around here.
You lied to me. You will change.
Yeah, I'm gonna change this. Let's see. We'll put 100. All right.
100 Dignitas. That's good.
100 Dignitas.
I had.
You're gonna make me recount this now? God damn it.
Oh, you better believe I am.
I hate you so
I
much.
had.
I just take out Fly.
One iteration of my lineup for the fantasy league had Stunt on my roster, but I just don't know enough about the guy to feel good about it. And then it lined up that I was picking all CLG. So.
Actually, one more change. Actually.
Oh, this is good. He's making it
Jeez,
work.
I have them where you have them. Oh crap! What did I just delete? EG.
This is a professional podcast.
Oh
where,
yeah.
there's no dead moments while people try to figure stuff out and then get interrupted by other people
I
changing
love
their
it.
decisions at the last minute.
I do love how CLG fourth straight across. the
So
board.
100 Thieves stays in
Right.
the same spot. Blight
Okay.
Quest stays in the same spot.
Did that actually change the aggregate at all?
1 second. 21. No, it did not.
That's fine.
100 Thieves and Dignitas were tied.
Oh,
Actually, now
okay.
that I remember it, and now it just actually separated them. 100 Thieves is like a point away from EG now, but the gap between EG and 100 Thieves was like so big that it didn't jump it enough. So.
Gotcha.
And the Immortals to FlyQuest gap was so high that that didn't matter anyway. So yeah, it worked out in the end, I guess.
Nice.
But yeah, so end of the season, I guess we're all thinking Team Liquid wins it again, barring any crazy crap.
What'll that be? 5 splits in a row?
Yes, that is 5 splits in a row. They have to lose eventually, and I just think that
This is the
it's the
TSM's
time.
taking it.
I actually do think it's the year. In a weird, I don't know.
In the spring, where all
Yeah,
these
in the
MSI
spring. I just think that TSM and C9 could be really good, and Liquid just kind of makes me feel meh. I just watch. They're gonna go out there and just crap on kids. I'm gonna be like, they're gonna crap on kids with pole belter. I'm gonna be like, damn it, here we go again.
Yeah,
But
I think C9's kind of volatile.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's-
the correct way of saying it.
that's Blabber's middle name.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think this will be interesting how kind of the top half shakes up. I think the bottom half's going to be maybe a couple mixed up, but
In order for like TSM to do anything, though, I think Bjergsen needs to be the MVP of the split again.
yeah, it's no problem.
You say that, but here we are. Just needs to get out there and make it happen.
Yeah, I think he has I like the cast.
Did you
Surrounding
watch?
Cast.
Did you watch Bjergsen's drive video or whatever?
I saw that
A
it was
part
a
of
thing.
it.
I didn't watch
It was 10 minutes, so I was like, that's too much time.
There's an interesting
Like a
snippet of
league games to
information
play.
at the end when they talk about Bjergsen resigning to TSM
Mm-hmm.
because he was like, yeah, I thought about leaving, and then he was like, then Reggie wanted me to sign the contracts, and we sat down and had a long conversation, and the end of the conversation was that Bjergsen said, you need to come back and manage the team more and not be absent. And Reggie said to Bjergsen that you need to be a bigger leader. And they both agreed on the terms. And then that's why Bjergsen came back for another split.
They sort of call each other out. Instead of
Yeah.
get it off the chest.
I mean, that's the way to do it, though.
Yeah. Damn.
Well, especially the stigma that Reggie had for however long with TSM, where he was the bad guy of TSM. He owned the team, and he wasn't afraid to push his weight around. There was a really long time that everyone was like, no, you're just bullying Dyrus. This is like...
I forgot about that.
I don't remember how long ago, but there was that video of Dyrus just streaming, and I think Reggie asked him a question, and Dyrus didn't hear him because he was playing, and then Reggie just starts yelling at him for like 5 minutes.
I don't remember that one.
I remember that one.
that
They
sounds
just start
about right.
screaming at each other for like 10 minutes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, you're lazy as hell, and like, go to hell. And he's like, oh, I hate you. And it's like, oh god, here we go.
Yeah. But you thought that was the end of TSM or the beginning of the end, and then here they still are.
All right, for the
God
second
bless.
half of our show, we're gonna do 2 matchups for the night. The first one we're gonna do is C9 versus Team Liquid, as they are the last year's finals matchup, is the first game of the split. And then I picked a Monday night matchup that I thought would be the most interesting, because at the time our power rankings well, they even still do now, but our power rankings have them matched pretty close together. So we have 100 Thieves and Evil Geniuses for our second matchup that we will talk about. But on the first one, C9TL, easy start off is the obvious. Broxus not playing. Even as of right now, he's not playing. He's not in the States yet. So I think by Friday night they have to submit the roster.
It's not happening.
Yeah, so Pole Belter's going to be playing the first week. So the first matchup we're going to talk about is Blabber versus Pole Belter. How do we think that this is going to work out in either team's favor or
No,
lack
Blabber's gonna run a
thereof?
train.
Blabber's aggressive.
Blabber's gonna run a train. I mean,
I hope he runs a train on him.
I mean, I've seen him play Lee Sin a fair amount, but that's like about it. So I don't know. I guess it depends on how the scouting goes, and if they can kind of ban him out. Because I think if you ban him out, then he's obviously already out of his element.
Right.
I mean, I don't think Pobelter wins the matchup, but Pobelter's not new to playing in the LCS. He understands how these things work, and he's really, really smart. So maybe he doesn't win the matchup, but he loses the matchup in a way that helps his team to win. Because the focus obviously isn't going to be on him as far as the team's game plan goes. They know that they've got a substitute in a jungle and not the powerhouse that they were expecting right away. So they're just going to change it. So, okay, we know that Pobelt is going to... It's kind of like what TSM did with Dyrus for however long. We know Dyrus is going to get camped, so we'll just make our game plan every time he gets camped, we're getting something else. So if they can figure out a way to turn this on its head, you might see Team Liquid pull out a game this week, or this weekend. I don't know if it's the C9 game, but I'll be very interested to see how this one plays out, actually.
Yeah, so is Pobelter the confirmed second string?
I don't think anything is confirmed. We were not going to know until
they've made a public statement saying that like Pole Belter is their guy, but then Schernfire is now in the States. Well, but they haven't said like that Schernfire is playing. Whereas they made the statement saying that Pole Belter was playing.
On the roster update list, it has 3 people in Team Liquid's jungle position.
Yeah, I saw this.
Roxa, Mike Young, and Pole Belter.
Yeah.
So I was gonna think if we're getting a Mike Young resurgence.
Oh God, no.
I don't know, man. Mike, don't call me Mike Young.
Yeah.
The kid.
Well,
I doubt it, but
Void Boy's the
meme
kid.
a bit.
That's not.
No, he's the prodigy.
He's a lot of things.
The boy genius. Classes in session.
The only person that ever builds Frozen Mallet and builds it every game.
He loves that item. Yeah, I don't know. I think C9 is gonna win this one.
Yeah.
I think top matchups, the most important matchup here, honestly, is if I think Licorice is probably gonna outperform Impact, and I think that'll just go a long way with the split pushing, because I feel like split pushing is gonna be like more of a thing now with some of these picks that I've seen coming out in other regions.
Right.
Been a lot of Jax, a lot of I'm blanking on the picks now, but I've seen a little bit more focus on like the 4-1.
Because
I think if Licorice wins that, if the top laner wins that, that opens up the game so much for the other team.
Yeah, because I think what makes this C9 team... Oh, crap, I'm yawning. Hold up. There we go. I think what makes this... I think what makes this C9 team better than the last one is that, like... I'm not saying that the bot lane is necessarily better. I mean, on paper, I think it is better, but we haven't seen it play yet. I think this bot lane is definitely on paper better at not dying. Well,
yeah, Sven always lanes pretty well in the double lift, if I remember right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like he's never gonna necessarily beat Doublelift, but like he's definitely not gonna get smashed by Doublelift, which is like all you really need to do. And if Licorice can beat Impact and just like shove it down his throat, and then the rest of C9 doesn't int, that's a pretty good time. And if there's, an aggressive jungler who can help Licorice get fed, it's definitely Blabber. I mean, that guy he doesn't care about his deaths. He doesn't care about his assists, his kills, whatever. He's just going to go do whatever he needs to do. And that, can be that drive that pushes him forward to get snowballing and get moving and roll over them. The caveat to that is, he ints and they lose, which is a pretty big one. But because, I mean, if you remember, like, at Worlds last year, C9 was barely, like, real close to beating Griffin. And Licorice was, like, 6-0 on Fiora. Cloud9 was playing Sonateric, and they were winning. They were going to win. And then all of a sudden, Sneaky and Zazel get caught out in the mid lane, and it all just goes to shit. And you could see in the player cams, you could see Licorice just pissed. And it's like, of course he's pissed. Like,
clenched like no other.
Oh yeah, it's like, dude, he's like, guys, I am like 6-0 on Fiora. I can literally 1v3. All you have to do is not get caught. Like, that's literally it. And then they get caught, so if you flip side it now and you just tell Sven and Vulcan don't get caught, hopefully that's what you do. But now Blabber of all people though, because now I'm thinking,
Baron, don't worry.
Right, because now all I'm thinking though is like when Blabber played his his first LCS split when Jensen was the mid laner, they had that Zillion Kindred combo we talked about earlier, and you just like movement speed the Kindred, she goes in, like you put Zillion ult on her, she dies, she gets up, she Kindred ult, she kills someone, goes away.
Don't kill anybody. Yeah,
right, it's like Blabber's so aggressive, we give him 2 invulnerabilities and he builds GA, like because he's gonna die so much. It's like. Hopefully, either A, they do that again, or B, he's maybe learned to not go so far forward, but we'll get there. That's playing around your weaknesses right there, if anything. But on the flip side of the top lane, though, like with Impact, if there was a top laner who's not going to get run over by another top laner, it is Impact.
Yeah. That's true.
What's even played in the top lane nowadays?
Like,
Aatrox has been being played in China and Korea.
Yeah, Jax has been popping up a lot, like I mentioned earlier. That's mostly what I'm interested in. Kind of how week one's always like who's got their finger on the pulse as far as the meta goes. And
they're playing some patch 10.2, right?
10.1.
No, it's 10.1.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's 10.2. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, and that's honestly where the coaching comes in, and so it's gonna. I think the first week's always, who's gonna make the picks that is pretty much gonna set the scene for the rest of the season, and that could go for a lot of upsets actually.
It'll be interesting to see with the way that the game is different this season to last season, how much the LPL games are gonna affect NA LCS. I mean, obviously we steal everything from Korea, but did I say LPL? LPL is China, right?
Yeah, China.
I meant LCK. But obviously we steal everything from Korea, but it's probably because they play before we do, so we get to see what they're doing and what works for them.
What doesn't? Yeah.
If we played first, they'd probably steal some stuff from us.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Do you think?
Lay it on me.
I was trying to think about dragon control in this game. Niski's more apt to roam than Jensen is, but I mean Jensen started roaming more when he joined Team Liquid versus Cloud9, but Niski in general roams more.
So I feel like dragons are so weird because like the individual dragons actually don't matter.
Right.
Like the individual dragons have less of an impact than the previous dragon. It's just about the soul. So like you could see sometimes where it's like better to just not take the first 2, so you got like 4 of just 1, and just maximize on that. So
I think someone did the math,
interesting,
and it's more worth to lose 1. I think it was like you lose 1 and then take the rest. Like getting 3 dragons and soul is worth more than 2 dragons and soul.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree.
Because a 3 dragon soul would be better than a 2 dragon soul because the individuals of the 1 and 1 are useless. But if you get behind in 2 dragons, it takes too long to get 4, and their 2 dragon stats together could destroy you.
Right. That came up at the Kespa Cup a few times, where a team would have 2 dragons already, or they'd have a dragon already, and like the second would be a wind drake, and they say we don't care about that. So the team that's behind's like, well, we need everything we can get right now, so they go take the wind drake, and the team that was winning is like, all right, we're gonna take another tower while you guys are doing that. We're gonna grab Rift Herald, we're gonna get map pressure, we're gonna get all this other control, and it's like taking that dragon, even though you didn't have one before, the other team wanted you to take it, so you're actually helping them. I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe there'll be some mind games where Dragon doesn't get taken until like 30 minutes into the game.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happened at
It
least
could be.
once.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Dragon control wins the games if it's the 4th Dragon.
Right.
It's kind of where I'm going with that one. But so I don't think that early. I don't think until like, people get like an item and a half, 2 items that people are actually gonna start like you might see some like cheeky stuff where they send like, jungler steals it with like support help or something like that, or if it's just like there and your tempo can stay the same, then you just take it. But otherwise I could see people just walking right on by it and just trying to get leads and lanes over that.
Anything else on this game?
I think we covered it pretty well. I think we all pretty much agree that Cloud9 should win this game, as long as they don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, which is not out of the realm of possibility.
It is week 1, and it is the NALCS.
Yeah, and it is Blabber.
So 100 Thieves versus Evil Geniuses, our second matchup. We've got, starting with this one, we're going to do jungle matchup again because you have the Summer Split MVP in Svenskeren versus the NA 14 KDA King Meteos. When worlds collide, what happens?
Yeah, good question.
Tune in next week to find out.
I think Sven will actually struggle.
I do too. I get to hate him again. I'm happy. I get to not like him again. It's like him and Golden Glue. Now that they're not on C9, I don't have to like pretend to like them. I no longer have to argue.
Pretend to like them before.
Yes, I did. Otherwise, I'd feel bad.
Yeah, you said some things still. I heard you.
I hate that.
I heard you, man.
He does dumb things. He just does stupid things. I don't like it.
Well, I think Evil Geniuses wins this one. I don't. Yeah, the jungle matchup is. I think 100 Thieves would have to win the jungle matchup. Like Meteos has to win this jungle matchup by a lot for this game to go their way. Because I have a lot more faith in Evil Geniuses than you do.
True that.
I just think Evil Genius is going to work better as a team, personally.
I don't know.
What about our previous? So we just had a conversation with Team Liquid and Cloud9 about how Licorice is going to split push and beat up Impact. Can't we say the same for Someday beating up?
That's what I was going to go
Kumo?
for, yeah.
Maybe. I think you might be undervalued with Kumo. You said he was the worst top laner in NA. He's one of the highest valued.
Yeah, I put him bottom.
I mean, obviously, he's not making millions of dollars, but
I put him bottom 3.
Interesting.
Maybe ahead of both Soaz and Ruin.
Haunter, Soaz, Viper, Huni, Someday, Ruin, Broken Blade, Licorice, Impact. So you're probably going to put him with Soaz and Ruin. Him, Soaz, and Ruin are going to be the bottom 3. And that's assuming that Soaz still sucks from last split. Because if Soaz is really good and tanks are meta, he's going to be amazing. But that's not obviously ever going to be the case because tanks are never coming back. Because Riot hates tanks.
Never. They're still buffing Trundle.
Well, as soon as the tanks come back, they just go away because Trundle's played.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, that's like sidebar. That's like how many buffs in a row on that champion? I don't understand how he's not just like top tier yet.
It's a lot.
I think it's more. think it's like 10. I think it's like double
He's
digit
been
buffs.
buffed. He was first. I remember specifically he was first buff last preseason when they introduced turret plating, because then they buffed his split pushing so he could take the turret plates faster. And then I remember being like, "Oh, this is the start." Like they buffed Trundle, he could split push again, and then he was never played. And they buffed him like 4 more times in the year, and now they buffed him again. And I'm like, okay, seriously though, someone's got to play this champion.
It's gonna happen at some point.
If you don't play this champion, they're gonna buff him like 3 more times, and he is going to stomp on kids. And I'm just waiting for it.
Has he really not had a single stat reduction since then?
No, not at all. He's just been slowly buffed.
God.
He's been getting W buffs. His Q damage is being buffed.
They just buffed his
They buffed the slow on his E, like his ultimate, like how much like health he gets back. Like they've been doing it all.
Yeah, I don't understand how he's not just like the most contested pick in the world, just for how much love they've given that champion.
Well, he doesn't have a dash, and that's apparently a problem.
Yeah, that could be. Where he'll eventually move so fast that he'll outrun dashes.
Yeah. But we digress.
Yeah. I think Evil Genius is gonna have a slow start. I think they'll pick it up, but I think they got EU and jungle mid, Korea as their bot lane and their coach, and then NA like support and top. Like I think it's gonna take a little bit for it to mesh. Whereas 100 Thieves has NA. Somebody's been here forever, so I'm and then Ryoma from the ocean place.
Australia.
Yeah. So I think that 100 Thieves is going to come in just a little more congruent, and I think somebody's going to just smack top lane.
I forgot Papa Smithy took over 100 Thieves, admittedly.
Oh, I did too.
That gives him a couple more points, I guess. So maybe it's more of a 50-50 than I had at first surmised. I still think Evil Genius is going to win.
Fair enough.
With the bot lane, with Zeyzal Bang versus Cody's son, Stunt. Stunt hasn't been in the LCS for a bit. He got pushed back down to Academy. Was he TSM support for like a game or something? Or was that Shady?
I think that was Shady.
Okay. I don't remember. Stunt played for somebody. Phoenix won.
FlyQuest, Immortals, Phoenix won.
There we go, yeah. So he's been around, but now he's finally back. Obviously, as far as experience goes, Bang Zeyzal is probably more than Cody and Stunt's total, but Zeyzal being credited for the lack of laning phase in Cloud9 for the bot lane. Along with Sneaky, but Zeyzal was definitely a contributing factor to that, and Bang had one of the worser laning phases on 100 Thieves last year. So if, not saying that Cody's son's great at laning phase, I think he's also pretty bad. But if you get somebody like Stunt who plays like really aggressive Thresh and like Nautilus games, could make for some pretty messy bot lane fights.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if I know anything from my solo queue games, you take 2 bad bot laners, which is my entire elo. You put them against each other, it's a freaking bloodbath.
That's your entire region, bud.
And I don't think Ryoma or Jizuke are going to be like on par, ready to go week 1. So I don't really think that they're going to be laning against each other super hard or roaming. I think they're just going to be existing personally. So you're going to have more bot lane fights with the jungle like ganks. And I just think that, for some reason think that Meteos wins that over Svenskeren.
Yeah, well, I just think it's about the plays you're making. Week 1, teams come out slow sometimes, and it's usually the team making the aggressive, even if it might be considered the wrong play. I think Meteos isn't afraid to do that.
You're also not wrong to just feel like Meteos wins that, because Meteos teams win games.
Exactly. Yeah. That's all they do.
Meteos has never missed playoffs, ever, in his entire career. He almost did on 100 Thieves, but he got kicked from that roster halfway through the season. So statistically speaking, he's never missed playoffs when he's been on the team.
Is that how Optic picked him up?
Yes.
Because he got kicked off 100
No.
Yeah.
He left 100 Thieves. He got kicked from 100 Thieves and went to FlyQuest Academy.
Oh,
in which he did make Academy playoffs, and then he was the spring split was traded to Optic Gaming.
Academy playoffs still count.
It does.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying for like That's what I'm saying for them getting into playoffs this year. Like, Meteos doesn't miss
Yeah.
playoffs. It's just like a given. I mean, of course they're going to make it.
Yeah, they're one of my big dark horses. I wouldn't be surprised like seeing them in like top 3 or top 4, like end of the split.
I don't know. I think 100 Thieves is going to do really well summer split. I'm not sure how much they're going to have this shit together for spring split.
It's a valid concern.
I think this whole spring split's gonna be just a cluster.
Yeah, it's going to be a shit
I think
show.
there's so many changes just overall.
Which is probably why we all put Team Liquid right at the top, because they're literally changing one player.
Yeah, if they can ever get them in.
That's true.
Eli,
What's up?
I see here at the end of our show you have a super secret surprise segment, maybe, question mark?
Are we gonna run that? Do we get?
We
to
can
do
run
this?
that. We got 10
Oh, I'm
minutes left, and
excited.
it says you got about 5-10 minutes, so
All
let's
right.
run it. Let's see what so it's super secret, so Coobs and I don't know what this
super
is.
secret. You guys never.
And,
all I did
and
was
hopefully
ask
it's
you if-
appropriate.
It is. All I did was ask you if I could do a segment. I didn't tell you what it was.
Right.
So you guys are kind of competitive, right? You guys like to compete with each other, specifically.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking like between the two of us specifically, or just competing in general?
Yes and yes.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm gonna see which one of you knows more about League of Legends. This is the first, hopefully, of many episodes of a little game I like to call Team Fight Trivia.
That's
so-
clever.
I know. I've been thinking about it all week. Literally all week. I've been like, Team Fight Trivia. It's good. So here are the rules. I have 5 questions. 5 trivia questions. They all follow a theme. What you guys are going to do is you're going to go to, we've got that little Discord server that's just like the 3 of us. You're going to have something typed on a line. It doesn't really matter what it was, but that's going to be used as the buzzer. When I ask the question, the first person to hit enter gets to take the first crack at answering the question.
In our like little voice chat
Where is
thing.
this?
Yep.
What do I gotta do? I just have to smack the enter bar.
Yeah, well, you got to have something in that line, because if you just hit enter, nothing's going to happen. But if you have like L, just hit, okay. So whichever one pops up first.
Oh,
I
okay.
know.
Up there.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right.
Hold
So-
on, hold on.
What am I holding on for? Do you understand? I can keep
Yep.
explaining.
I'm ready.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. We're still doing rules. We're not on to questions yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you get the first question right, that's a point. If you get 2 in a row, you're on a multi-kill. So that's worth a bonus point. And if you get 3 in a row, you're on a killing spree. If you after 3 in a row that you get correct without the other person answering, all of your correct answers are worth 3 points. If you get one wrong, it resets to 1 because you end your killing spree and you end your multi-kill.
Okay.
If you get like 3 in a row and then somebody let's say Coobs, you get 3 in a row, and then Logan gets number 4, and then you get number 5, that number 5 is still worth 2 points because you haven't answered a question wrong. You're still on a killing spree. Or you're still on a kill streak, you're just not on a killing spree anymore. Does that make sense?
There you
Okay. Yeah.
Hopefully we can keep track of this through the whole split and see who wins, and at the end we'll get a prize. Maybe we'll drop a contract that one of you says, I admit that I know nothing about League of Legends. And the
Deal.
other one is better than me.
I already admit that.
Aw. Thanks, buddy.
All right, are you guys ready to play?
Yeah.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
Question number 1. What year? Okay, well, first of all, appropriately, this is all themed on the LCS because it's LCS opening weekend. So, question number 1. What year did Riot Games establish the LCS? Logan?
2013.
That is correct. While professional play began with mostly third-party events in 2009 and one World Championship hosted by Riot, the LCS wasn't established until the spring of 2013. So that is first blood to Logan.
I remember
Question
that
number
because
2.
C9 came in that summer.
That's true.
It's a fun fact.
I'm gonna get railed.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Question number 2. TSM has won the highest number of LCS splits. How many splits has TSM won? Ooh, Logan got in first.
They
You
have
can't just
won
think forever.
6.
6 is correct.
Yeah.
Spring 2013, summer 2014, spring 2015, summer 2016, spring and summer 2017. I guess this category might be curated a little bit towards Logan, and I didn't mean that to happen. It's just seemed like
Haha.
that. And I guess I should clarify that I was gonna have time limits if it became an issue, but we'll get into that if it comes up later. Okay, question number 3. Only one team in the NALCS has an American mid laner on their current roster. Name the player or the team. Logan.
Oh crap! It's Golden Guardians with Grayson Gilmore of Golden
Golden
Guardians. Yeah, Golden Glue.
You got it.
Okay.
You are cleaning house.
I hit
That is a
enter and I
triple
went,
kill.
oh my god, what if he's Canadian? And I forgot. I was like, oh no. I was like, I'm screwed.
So Logan's got 6 points right now. He's got
God,
1 for
yeah.
question 1,
Come on.
2 for question 2, and 3 for question
give me
3.
some
Can't help it that you just hit enter before even thinking about the answer.
Why don't
could
you do it?
too.
Because I'm trying to play the game right.
It's a strategy. If he gets it wrong, he resets his entire
That's
points.
true.
So, all right, question number 4. Which current LCS player is also a part owner of the team he plays for?
Ooh.
Who's got this one?
Yeah, Bjergsen, baby.
It is Bjergsen. That he negotiated that into his contract in October of last year. We almost said that on the podcast earlier, so I wasn't sure who was going to get this one. All right, that ends the killing spree. So if Logan gets this, he only gets 2 points. So this question 5 is worth 2 points. Right now, Logan's winning 6-2. Question number 5. This one's my favorite. What is the name of the only team to join the LCS from another region and place in the top 4 of an NA LCS split? Logan.
LMQ.
Wow, how'd you know that off the top
As soon
of
as
your
you
head?
said, because as soon as you said team to join from another region, I was like, yeah, it's LMQ, 100%.
Ooh. Wow, okay. I actually had a conversation with Mark about whether or not I was going to accept Impulse, because they later rebranded as Impulse before they...
Oh, I
disbanded
forgot
in
about
2016.
Impulse.
So if you had said Impulse, I was actually going to count that wrong. But
I
you're
forgot
right,
about
it
them
was
as a
LMQ.
team. Yeah.
So,
Vasily Zhao
Uh,
Zhao.
yep.
That's,
Oh, Zhao, man. So, I've only got the 5. Koobs kept him off the pentakill. But by a tally of 8-1, Logan has the lead from week 1. In a category
Damn
that
straight.
admittedly he probably just knows more about.
you betcha.
So, I'm going to come back next week, if we've got time, if we make time for this, with a different batch of questions, with a different category. It could be something like mid laners, jungle camps, anything League of Legends related at all. And if you guys want to keep playing this, we can keep track throughout the entire split.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, the guy who just won by 8 points.
Yeah.
Well,
He
be
only won by
better.
7. He only won by 7.
Sorry for being competitive. My bad.
Yeah, you got a little sketchy on the rules there at the beginning, I think. But hey, I'll give it to you. I'll
what-
give it to you.
Was something not clear?
No.
He's
Logan
saying
just
the
taking-
hitting
Logan
enter
just
and then taking a
15
couple seconds. Oh, come on.
Now, to be fair, so the time length rules that I was going to put in place is that you only have 10 seconds to answer.
Oh, it's too long.
Right. I was toying with bringing it down to 8 or 5.
Yeah, 3.
3 is really quick.
Yeah, you better know it.
So we might toy with that in the future. And if I get into segments that are really hard, I might award you guys with a stopwatch, which would give you an extra 5 seconds to answer a question. But that's it for episode 1 of Teamfight Trivia. I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's basically it for the show. We've gone
Nailed it.
through everything, yeah. So be sure to tune into the LCS so that way you can send us your questions and ask us about the great stuff that is the first week of NA Clown Fiesta. Because it's going to be a good one right off the bat. But that's going to do it for us today. Be sure to remember and follow us here on Twitch and on Twitter at Talk of the Rift. If you missed any of our other episodes, you can check them out on our Anchor page, anchor.fm/Talk of the Rift. From there, you can find us on virtually all podcast platforms from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, just to name a few. Don't forget to send us your questions for our Q&A. Also, you can send us an audio message on our Anchor page as well. We will play it live and answer it, and we will be sure to see you all next time.
Bye.
Adios.